Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mr. Audio. Ooh, okay, that probably was kind of dull, sorry about that. Well, hey, today I'll talk about a few things. First of all, I wanted to give my first review, and that is of this album is a freaking masterpiece as far as I'm concerned, and it's Bill Evans' Quintessence, 45 RPM, cut from the original analog master tapes by Kevin Gray and Steve Hoffman. And this was cut years ago, but they just reissued it. Comes with a gatefold jacket, 45 RPM. I mean, it just sounds fantastic. I mean, this is a term that probably gets overused, but when you close your eyes, it's like they're in the room with you. I mean, Bill Evans' piano is just like spot on. I mean, everybody has their own place, and Kenny Burrell's guitar playing is just, yeah, you sit there and you just listen to it, and you just kind of get transported to that time when this was cut. I don't know exactly what year it was, but let me see if I can find that real quick. Take the records out. Okay. And seeing I'm at it here, might as well bring this up as well. These I took it out of the regular sleeves, I put it in the MoFi heavyweight sleeves. Now, these sleeves are freaking great because they're a lot sturdier. I mean, they have a thicker cardboard in here, or paperboard, I should say, and they don't bunch up. Down here on the bottom might bunch up a little bit on the corners, but as far as like it getting all creased and everything, it just doesn't happen. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And this album was, when was this recorded? 1977. So this is roughly 3 years before Bill Evans passed away. But it sounds incredible. I mean, like I said, Kenny Burrell's guitar work. Kenny Burrell, God bless him, he's still alive. He's still with us, 94 years old. He doesn't play anymore, unfortunately, but, at 94 years old, I can't imagine a lot of guys that still want to, play guitar, and much less just play any concert of any kind. But, hey, these guys have given us some of the greatest music in history as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you have Harold Land, Kenny Burrell, Ray Brown, and Philly Joe Jones. And, of course, Bill Evans playing the piano. So you got Harold Land on tenor sax, Kenny Burrell on guitar, of course, Ray Brown on acoustic bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. So, yeah, like, great album. Strongly recommend getting this album. I mean, if you're not into 45s, then, I don't know, don't get it. But, I mean, if you are into 45s, definitely get it. I like 45s. That's where I'm going right now with my music collection is 45 RPM. 45 RPM records, and of course SACDs and CDs as well. I actually have, speaking of CDs and Kenny Burrell, I got this Kenny Burrell right here, Asphalt Canyon Suite, and this is his 90th anniversary SHM CD from Japan. I buy a lot of CDs from Japan because, to my ears and from what I can tell, it's not typical jazz anyway. They rarely use dynamic compression, but I think if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know how I feel about dynamic compression. And I'll just leave that as is. But aside from that, I also have some other interesting finds that I picked up. Found an original copy of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood on CD. That's actually pretty cool. I picked that up for like $5, and it's the original release, so it sounds fantastic. Also found a copy of Van Halen, self-titled, and that actually sounds pretty freaking good too. It doesn't sound as good as the MoFi SACD, but it still sounds good. And then this one right here, which is, I've seen this before, but I never picked it up. But it's 10,000 Maniacs Hope Chest, the Fredonia Recordings, 1982 to 1983. Very interesting listen on this one. I mean, you can tell there's some reggae influence in that. You can tell, and Natalie Merchant's voice is very, very young because she was like 19 years old when this was made, or maybe younger. So it's interesting because when you get to the three big albums that they did, which was Blind Man Zoo, In My Tribe, and then of course Our Time in Eden. I mean, her voice has matured so much, and you can tell she has more confidence, and so she's belting out the tunes on that. But give this a listen if you're a 10,000 Maniac fan. You just might like it. This one was actually recorded analog and then digital. And then some other ones I got here. I might as well show them, seeing I have them strewn all over the floor. Found this one, an original jazz classic CD, The Cats, Tommy Flanagan, John Coltrane, Kenny Burrell, and Idris Suleiman. It's a good one. And then these are the UHQRs from the Oscar Peterson collection, or Centennial. So we have Affinity. We have at Concert Giebel. We have Stan Getz and the Oscar Peterson Trio. And then we also have Pastel Moods, Oscar Peterson. And then we have Tenderly, Oscar Peterson. You know, most of these recorded on the Verve label. But yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about. Okay, and no disrespect to Living Analog Sound Lab. I do believe is I forgot the guy's name already. But so he saw the video of Mike Esposito talking about how Rhino Hi-Fi did not use the master tape for some of the listings. Now, I admire the guy's passion, you know, and like I said, no disrespect to him. I mean, he's going with his feelings, his gut feelings, and I can't blame him for that. But to compare what Rhino is doing to what MoFi did it's not the same. It's really not. I mean, MoFi blatantly lied. I mean, they lied on camera. So, I mean, that's pretty bad. What Rhino's doing is, okay, so here's a perfect example. Okay. So the wording is a little, you know, like this, the Fleetwood Mac. Okay. It says, cut from original analog master tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. Well, you notice they put plural tapes. So, I mean, I don't know how many masters, or I think it's like 2 master tapes per album. I'm not sure. But, I mean, I get his point. They should word it a little bit more properly, especially with their Doors release, because with the Doors, they said original analog master tapes. And we know that the Doors self-titled was not usable, so they had to use a copy. And that's what Analog Productions used for their excellent 45 RPM version, which, incidentally, I just picked up. And, you know, I get where he's come from. I admire the guy's passion, but it's not quite the same. And I don't think this is a humongous thing. I mean, they should come correct and tell people, and maybe put a sparse code like Analog Productions does and what MoFi does now. They should probably do that. You know, they should tell you what source is being used. I don't think it's going to be an inferior source. I mean, they could put all analog. I mean, that's simple, because it is still all analog. Even if you're using a one-off copy of the master tape, it's still an analog tape. So it's still all analog. I mean, I question certain things about, like the Tone Poet series. Like right here, you know, you have this one, cut from the original analog tapes. Okay, it says cut from the original analog tapes. And then there are other ones that, see if I can find one. These are, okay, cut. Perfect example. Gerald Wilson, Moment of Truth. It says mastered from the original analog tapes. So it'd make one, you know, is everybody going to start questioning Blue Note now? I mean, you know, it's like, the wording gets tricky with some of this stuff. I mean, and there's people that really don't like it. They want to know exactly where it's coming from. I mean, here's another example. Okay, Blue Note Classic Series, mastered from the original analog tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. This is the Blue Note Classic Series, mastered from. But, you know, everything is mastered from the original tape. Think about that for a second, because if you go from the original tape to DSD, it's still being mastered from if you're not doing any conversion. I mean, not conversion, excuse me. That's a bad choice of words. That's not what I meant. If you're going from a straight analog to DSD, and then from DSD, you're mastering it on an analog console, you're still mastering from the original tape. Now, if you're altering the signal path, or the music right off the original tape and then converting it to digital, that's a different story. So, I mean, it's like everything is mastered from the original tape. But cut. That's the thing. Cut. People want to know where it's being cut from. I mean, there are some artists out there that don't want to let their tapes out. And then some artists don't really have a choice because, the label pretty much controls everything. I mean, the label, I covered this before, in the case of like Sony, Sony is not going to let any master tapes out. I'll stand behind that statement. Period. Mic drop. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's just the way Sony is. Sony invested so much money into DSD that is their baby. They want to make money off DSD. There's more money in a DSD conversion than there is to lending out the master tapes. So, I mean, back in the day when Classic Records got a hold of, Kind of Blue, that was when vinyl was pretty much dead. Audiophiles were still buying it. But now that audio, vinyl's making a comeback, it's easier to say. It's just like I said about when you go back to the whole Mo-Fi Gate, you just look at the big three catalogs they had: Miles Davis, Billy Joel, and Bob Dylan. And those were all Columbia Records. And they never got the tapes. Never got the tapes. They never had the tapes, they never had the tapes in their possession. They had to take their big, however it is, I don't know how big the quad recorder is, but in some cases it was quad. They have the DSD quad recorder, and then they take that, and then, representative from the company will put the tape on, they'll hook everything up, and they'll allow them to make a one-off copy from the master tape. And it's just as good as the master tape. I mean, that is true. So, you're not getting inferior sound just because something is going through a DSD process. Now, if you want absolute master tape sound, then you go from master tape to DSD straight to cutting. And you can cut from DSD. It's live playback, and you cut from a live playback. It's that simple. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on what's going on right now with Rhino. I have bought a few Rhinos. I got the Doors set, and of course I got the Stevie Nicks, and I got the Fleetwood Mac, and what else did I get? The Black Sabbath. Had to get the Black Sabbath. But does it bother me that they weren't upfront? A little, But is it going to be a deal breaker for me? No, not when there's certain albums that you just can't get anyplace else. I mean, in the case of the Doors, I can go buy the 45s from, Acoustic Sounds. It's that simple. They're still readily available, and they sound fantastic. I mean, they are killer sounding albums. To me, it's worth it to get up and flip the record because, when you're, I think Chad, he did I forgot what album it was, but he played a snippet, and he played a snippet of the tape, and then he played a snippet of the 45. And it's like, wow, is the 45 RPM, is that better than tape? No, probably not, and probably won't be. But it's pretty freaking close. I mean, I think you're getting better quality with 45 RPM. That's me. Your mileage may vary, but this is how I listen to stuff, and you can listen to stuff how you want to listen to stuff. I think I'll end off today with a little bit of a tour of my listening room. It is a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'll just be here and show you what my system. Okay. So right over here, if you look off here, you can see I have a Royal Classic 98 sub connected to my Zoo Audio Soul 6. And then there's my, right here on the floor is my, well, it's not on the floor, it's on the stand, my Accuphase. That's an older model. It's the DP55V, which is still a banging player. It's got some dust on it, but that's okay. And then over here, I have my Blue Sound Vault. I have my topping, E70 Velvet deck. And then right above that, I have my Beast, which is my Yamaha AS3200. And above that, I have the Junior Beast, which is the Yamaha CDS 2100 SACD player. And then above that is my Denon DP3000NE with an Orthofon Quintet Black mounted on it. Pretty good. And then right here, they're not in use at the moment, but I'm going to put them in use. Yeah, I'm nuts. I have a pair of Pass Labs XA60.8s. Yeah, I'm gonna hook those up. Just haven't hooked them up yet, but I am gonna hook them up, and that's probably gonna make things sound that much better. Because I mean, the pair of those is probably gonna put out better sound than my Yamaha already does, and my Yamaha is pretty freaking excellent. If you look behind me on the wall there, you see I have a Tower Records bag from Japan, and I have a John Cole train poster, a Japanese poster, and then right there on the back door. Oh no, it's off to the side. I have the Blue Note 85 collection, which is those are the ones they did blue colored vinyl. It's the same thing as the classic series, just on blue vinyl, but they were all cut, well, supposedly cut from the original analog master tape. Now they got the Blue Note Essential series, which is cut from digital files. I think the same digital files that Alan Yoshida cut back in the day when he did the XR CDs. Because aside from the XR CDs, I know he did considerably more than that. I mean, I think, it's my thought that they were going to make more XR CDs, but they just did the 25 because they did the first 20, and then it took like 10 years before they released the last 5. And the cases on the last 5 are a little bit noticeably bigger than the cases for the other 20. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, those are my thoughts. I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really want you to like the video, subscribe to the video, leave a comment. If you disagree with anything that I'm saying, or you have an opinion other than mine, please share it with me. I'm not going to sit there and shut you down or delete your comments. I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what I could be doing better. Tell me what you need to be more engaged in my content. I mean, this channel is in its infancy. I'll admit that. I mean, it's pretty obvious because I have pretty poor production values. But, that's, I'm working at it, okay? So help a brother out. Yeah, okay. But, yeah, that's going to be it for today. I'll probably post another video next week with another review. But once again, I'm going to tell everybody, whether you want to listen to me or not, what did I just do with it? Man, I can't believe it. I'm losing my records right before my own eyes. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, right here. Bill Evans Quintessence. Buy it. Buy it. $65 on acousticsounds.com, or you can get it from Mike Esposito at the InGroove. Just go to ingroove.com and you can buy it. On Acoustic Sounds, if you buy, you spend over $100, you get free shipping, plus there's tax. But with the InGroove, you spend over $100, you get free shipping, plus there's no tax. So there you go. I picked this one up and the Chet Baker, which I'll review later, and I got those for $120 even, so I was happy for that, or $130 because they're $65 each. But yeah, other than that, I mean, also go out and buy these Mo-Fi heavyweight sleeves. They're really good, and check out some CDs from CD Japan. I want to give a shout out to the people that inspired me to make this channel, which is Mike at the InGroove. The German dude, Mike, yeah, the German guy, yeah, from 45 RP, I think that's his name, not sure. And then Steve Westman, I like the guy. I mean, I've never met him. I met Mike on the phone, but yeah, Steve, he's a cool dude. I like his content. And then there's Jay Ziyagi. I like him. He's got good content. And then, of course, Michael Fremer. He might be an acquired taste for some, but hey, the guy's always been nice to me. I sent him a message on Facebook and he responded, and he helped me out to make a purchase. So, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for all these guys because they're all doing something for this wonderful hobby that we have. It's all about listening to the music, and it's all about, what you want to listen to and how you want to listen to it. So I just offer my opinions, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So once again, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Love y'all. Peace. Have a great weekend.